Hello. My name is Vanessa. Come on in to the channel. When you see me show up, click it. When you see it, click it, click it. Come on in. I have something to offer today. Let's talk about quitting. Quitting your job, walking away from that 9 to 5. And before we get there to the discussion, I'm going to give you some of this tone deaf voice. As you always hear me say, it's tone deaf, but I don't mind bringing it. I'm just going to bring it anyway. Give you all a good giggle. You might need a good laugh today, listening to this type of singing here. Hello, 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 as you come on into the live. Tumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition. Yawn and stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower, the blood starts pumping. Out on the street, the traffic starts jumping. Folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Barely getting by. It's all taking and no giving. They just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's enough to drive you crazy if you let it. 9 to 5. For service and devotion, you would think that I would deserve a fat promotion. Want to move ahead, but the boss won't seem to let me. I swear sometimes that man is out to get me. Now that's probably my best part. They let you dream just to watch them shatter. You're just a step on the boss man's ladder. But you have dreams he'll never take away. And I'll stop right there. You do have dreams. You have dreams to do what you want to do and what you need to do. Because the purpose of a job is to try to fulfill your basic needs, your everyday needs and demands of life, and possibly invest in your future. Now, there's many things that's going on that's causing people sometimes have to walk away from their 9 to 5. We all know that. Life is not new. There's layoff, things that's outside of your control that's causing you to not be employed. I'm not talking about that. What I want to address today is there's some negative, I see it as negative and unproductive, and it harms other people. That people are using statements like, they're quietly quitting. Other things such as I'm going to sit this 4 years out due to the results of the 2024 election. I'm going to sit it out and just do the bare minimum. Other statements that, I hear, and you all hear it too, and it's discouraging. It's discouraging somebody else who may not have a plan to take care of themselves, but they're being influenced by somebody else's, their discouragement. That person is discouraged and they're discouraging somebody else. Because I heard a young lady say she quit her job. So I asked, well, what's your plan now that you quit your job? She said, well, I have a little bit of a savings, and then I have some family members to help me out. Now, that's good. She does have a savings, but savings deplete. If you're going to have a savings, you have to keep pouring into the savings, or you don't have a savings. And then the family members who are helping her out, that's a good thing too. Good, she have a fallback plan. But the family members got a job. I was supposed to have a job, or how can they help her? So she's added a little bit. She's an adult. You're adding a burden to somebody else if you're leaning on them because you decided to quit yours. Now, I don't know her story, why she quit the job, but she said it so carefree, like, I quit that job. Now, there's heckling, there's harassment, and there's a lot of things that goes on in workplaces. Many people are affected by so many different behaviors and actions on a job. But there's also, we have to look out for our younger generation. The older, according to the Bible, is supposed to be teaching the younger. And if the younger has this mentality, our millennial generation have a mentality that they're supposed to, I guess the workplace is supposed to be a place of appeasement every day. And it's supposed to be light. And they're just supposed to have fun. I don't know. what else they're expecting. Of course, you can have fun and have an enjoyable time at work, but if they meet any type of controversy or challenge, they seem to want to check out and wonder, what is the purpose of a job? I'm going to spend 30 to 40 years of my life on a 9 to 5? Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. That's kind of the point, because it's a part of the economic system that helps America move forward, supply and demand. So nobody has to do one thing for a living. There's too many ways to make a living. We are in a technological age. People making, we hear millionaires being developed online. These young people are bright. And not just the young people, middle-aged people, older people are bright, and they're learning to use this internet as a form of income. So if a person can do that, I'm not mad at them. But just to say, I'm walking away, I'm leaving, and I don't have a backup plan, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, you're going to have to lean on somebody. And you have to consider you're putting the stress and pressure on your loved ones. They love you and you love them back, so why do that to them? You have to have more stick-to-itness than just walk away. Everybody has challenges on the job. Every day is not a nice day. It's not a comfortable day. It's not easy. Work is for production. Now, when you're, again, if you're up against the wall and you feel like you're just being pushed out of there, then it's probably best to walk away, because people can create some volatile environments, some hazardous environments, and they're trying to push you out of there anyway. So they will work to your demise, trying to pin something on you. So you do have to look out for yourself. You just got to look out for yourself. That's what everybody's doing, looking out for self. Number uno. But as far as just saying, just leave. So if let me get my pen. For those who just say, just leave. If you're cavalier like that, I don't see my pen. Oh, I got my pen. It's cavalier and you have an advice like that. I got my pen and my paper. Can you tell me what you're doing? What are you doing for your backup plan? Well, you just leave. Again, the people are making a living by side hustles. There's so many different things that people are figuring out how to move ahead, get moving. You have to be industrious. Keep thinking, keep your thinking cap on. Because let me give you some Bible scripture here. I want to always bring some encouragement biblically, because God drives a hard bargain. He's a loving, compassionate God, but he also calls our hands to be fruitful. We have to be busy. In the book of Proverbs, and this is the 18th chapter, and it says at verse 9, he also that is slothful in his work is a brother to him that is a waster, a great waster. So that waster can be also a discourager. Those who are discouraging others from going to work and keeping a job, keeping themselves employed. It's the same as a slothful person who don't want to be employed. So that's one digging a ditch for the other, the blind leading the blind. Nobody is going anywhere fast like that. And in Proverbs, not Proverbs, Psalms 90 and verse 17, and let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish thou the work of our hands upon us. Yea, the work of our hands, establish thou it. But nothing can be established if there's nothing being initiated. How can God establish something that we don't do? We can't throw our hands up in the air like this, say, well, God got it. God got me. God got us in us being industrious. We have to step out. We got movement. God have never told somebody in the passages that we can all go to as a reference to the biblical passages, sit down and don't do nothing. You don't have work to do. The human has work to do. Now, how you find your work to do, what you find to be productive, you have to decide that. But to do nothing, idle hands, the Bible says that we should take our lesson from the ant, and they save up. So that's saying in the earlier part of your life, maybe in your youth, middle age, leading up into your retirement age, we should be busy saving up, Try to invest in your own future. Otherwise, idle hands can lead to poverty. And we don't want to lead ourselves to poverty. Remember, in 2025, a lot of changes is coming down the pike. Donald Trump is tasking Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to they establishing a new government program. Let me see, what did I see? I jotted it down there. Department of Government to investigate some of these federal departments to see what they're about and why is there over 400 federal departments. And they're looking into reducing the federal workforce. That's a lot of jobs being lost. Those people have got to go somewhere. So if the people who are discouraging other people from going to work right now, they can find it even more difficult in this tight workforce to find employment. So why do that to people? Because jobs are laying off left and right. And they're 2025 getting ready to bring some new changes. Why do we want to encourage and discourage people from doing what they can for themselves? Because those same people that's probably already have a hatred for Donald Trump in their mouth, they're gonna, guess what? When they can't find employment, sorry about that, you all. When they can't find employment, it gets stiffer. Then they're gonna have even more reason to say that they hate him. When some of this is self-inflicted. We have to be busy people. Everybody has got to find something to do and be diligent about that. Be faithful about that. Every day can't be a nice day at work. It's not going to be pleasing at work, but it's for production. You don't have to go there to find a friend if you don't want to find a friend. If you happen to find a friend, that's a plus. But work is not for that. It's to be respectful, be cooperative, and be supportive. You have to work with people and be honest about that. Be diligent in your work. But at the same time, I just find that a negative thing. Keep hearing these young people say, I quit. I don't wonder, when you quit, are you going where? What's your plan when you quit? This is all cavalier. Your attitude about that is just, I'm walking out this door. They can see my back. I don't need this. And then they're being defensive. I understand. I hear straight through the energy that they're coming with. Their feelings are really hurt, but they're lashing out. I don't need this job. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Stop talking so strong like that and settle down, rethink, go home. Look, when you get off of work, it's time for decompression. Many people, ask older people, you do that. You decompress, go home and find some leisure to relax and smile and find something comical and relieve yourself of the pressures of the day. Don't make hasty decisions when emotions are running high. That's not safe for yourself. You have to have a stick-to-itness. I don't want to have to see, along with many of you out there, hear our younger generation in these months to come, and they are sorrowful, they're discouraged, their countenance is downcast because they are bringing some of this up on themselves. They're bringing it on themselves because some of it is like we were when we were younger. You don't always want to hear the older people in your life. You feel like, I got it, Mom. I got it, Dad. I got it. But you got to go out and learn a tough lesson. So that can be the case in some things. You just don't want to hear. You want to forge your own way. Well, forge full steam ahead. Go ahead. I'm wishing you well on that. But also, there's older people in some people's lives who are discouraged and younger. I don't understand that. What are you there in their life for? You're supposed to be a voice of reason. You're supposed to be wisdom in their ears. So I want to encourage you all, don't just walk away from your place of employment like that. If you feel like you have to, you're being pressured out of there, you're being squeezed out of employment, keep looking ahead, keep your eyes on the horizon, and still make strategic steps forward for yourself. But at the same time, if you can stay. Talk to older people in your life. Get wise counsel and try to build for yourself, because every day turns a new day. It can't stay the same. Look forward for a better day. Things are always changing. Things are changing. Who saw that this was going to come, that they're going to slash the government like that, or want to slash government, federal employment like that? Those people in those federal positions feel like they're sitting nice. Now, a lot of people is rethinking and trying to figure out what they're going to do. Which way are they going to go? So I'm hoping there be a change and events that those workers, well, they're going to have to slash. They're going to have to slash some. But I hope it's not as horrible that it sounds like it can't, that it's going to be. But I want to bring you all that with my tone, therefore, so my song. How did I do with my song? You all, yeah, give the video a thumbs up when you come across this, when it comes across in replay, and those who came in the live. I appreciate your time and your attention. My name is Vanessa, if I didn't say so in the beginning. And you all take care. Thank you for coming in and sitting with me today. While you're walking, keep talking your talk, but let God do the rest as you walk. You got to have a walk to put to your talk, but I hope the talk is a positive talk toward productiveness. And then let God do the rest. He give us something to do too. We got to do. You can't just put it all on God and wait for a miracle to happen when you're not putting forth an effort. The effort has got to be in the human, and God makes up the rest. He got you. He sees you. He knows exactly what's going on. I posted something, was that Thursday? I think it was Thursday. I'm trying to recall, what did I post? I prepared a short. And it was talking about, I wish I could think of, I want to give it to you all right now. What was that short? I may have to put it, because I put that on TikTok, but may have to put it here on YouTube too. I want to share it out. Talking about God oversees the affairs of mankind. Where there's a leader on any level, on a job, of the country, God established and decides who the leader is. So God gets involved in the affairs of men. I think it came from the book of Isaiah. God gets involved in the affairs of men, and he chooses the leader. So whether we're discouraged or encouraged, keep that in mind, that God does get involved. Not just us humans that we're casting our vote. We're saying what we want. Remember the situation was Saul, the first king of Israel. God did not want them to have a king, but they was dogmatic. They wanted them a king like other nations around them. He said, well, I'll give you what you're asking for, but I'm going to give you the king I select. God selected Saul, and we're told when that selection happened, why he was selecting Saul, what Saul was going to do. He was going to take advantage of the people. God wanted him to take advantage of the people because they asked for something that God did not want them to have. He said he was the king over his own people. God is the king over the people. But the people was determined, give us a king, we want what we want to look, just like all the nations around us. Give us what we want. Okay, I'll give you what you want then. You asked for it, here you go. Here you go. And he's going to take advantage of you. And that's what they did. That is what he did. Took advantage of the people by God's command. By God's command. So the activities and the behavior of people, our behavior can ask for oppression. Our voice asks for a deliverer. Humankind ain't never changed. People's behaviors ask for depression. We don't see it that way. We don't want to see it that way. We deny that. But God oversees the affairs of humans. Our behaviors can ask for oppression, not obeying God. And then when the oppression is heavy on the people, things are tough. Things are tough. And people start crying out in prayer, which is what we should do. The voice of people asks God to send a deliverer. Help us come from under this oppressor. So I don't know what Donald Trump administration going to look like. We see what Joe Biden's administration look like. Many of us would say this is oppressive right here. So, but we don't know what the future is going to hold. We got to wait and see. We got to have a wait and see attitude. You all take care. Thank you for coming in and sitting with me on the live, okay? Take care.